Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the Reading Quest. So today the book I'm going to talk about is a very special in a sense that one of the most misunderstood book of 20th century modernist literature, and for quite some length of time I have been wanting to talk to you about this book. So today's book of interest is Steppenwolf by again Herman Hesse. Uh, to start with, there are very few books in 20th century literature to which the word incommensurability of scales applies. Uh, Probably to Joyce's Ulysses, or to Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. But I'd also like to apply this word, the incommensurability of scale, to this book, Herman Hesse, Steppenwolf. Exactly what exactly when this name Steppenwolf uh, appears to you, what exactly you make out of it? Is it a ghost story? Is it a horror story? Is it a story of some schizophrenic, paranoid individual? It is none of those. Actually, Steppenwolf is a story of if again coming back to if James Joyce's Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man depicts the Bildungsroman of a young man from a child to his growing of an artist as a young man. This book can be categorized as Portrait of the Artist as a middle-aged man. It is very provocative, deeply psychological study of an individual, banking on the individual consciousness, not on the collective consciousness. It is extremely personal, intensely psychological. The narration is introspective, and most of the dialogues are in present tense. So what is the story all about? It is a story of a middle-aged man, Harry Haller. The initials are same as that of Herman Hesse, and that is why this novel is one of the most intensely personal autobiographical novel by Herman Hesse. The birth, the parentage, the place of Harry Haller, uh, his feelings, his thoughts, his inclinations, his psychology, uh, the Germany at his time, his age, his relationship to women, literature, music, philosophy, everything were those of Hermann Hesse. So this is a story of a man who calls himself half wolf and half human. Why is that so? It is also a story about a writer torn between the comforts of a bourgeois, mediocre age. At the same time, it is the story of a writer who wants to break free from all these comfort. I would like to read a quote verbatim. So Steppenwolf talks about multiple identities. It is not only between the two poles, rather it swings between multiple poles. Okay, according to Herman Hesse, this man, Harry Heller treatise consists of thousand and thousand of selves, not of just two. Okay, and no wonder Herman Hesse writes in Steppenwolf, I'm quoting verbatim, that his life oscillates as everyone does, not merely between two poles, such as the body and the spirit, the saint and the sinner, but between thousands and thousands of poles. On Steppenwolf, I would like to add one more thing, that it is not so much of a revolution as we thought revolution in terms of the usual meaning of the word revolution in any literary piece of art. Rather, it is because revolution implies a turning over, either a turning back. Okay, but this is something rather a breakup, a devolution, a catastrophic literary devolution that best marks the age of decadence that started post-war, and Hermann Hesse was its protagonist, disguised in the name of Harry Heller. No wonder Hermann Hesse writes in the preface to the book that poetic writings are understood and misunderstood in more than many ways. But because this writing was about the portrait of the artist, as I have said, as a middle-aged man, and Hermann Hesse categorically says that the book fell into the hand of his very young but enthusiastic reader, and that is why the book was violently misunderstood. As I myself have often believed, and I still believe, that there are certain books that are to be read when you come of age. There are certain books that are to be read later in life. This is one such book. So Herman Hesse, Steppenwolf talks about multiple identities. It talks about existence beyond time. It talks about laughter and laughing as a shield, as a protection from the insanity and absurdity of the world. Laughter as healing. Okay, laughter as a complex psychological experiment. But my aim is not to delve into the deeper nuances of these. My aim is to help you pick up the book and to incite some spark in all of you, so that you are able to enjoy the book with some kind of pre-reading that I'm giving it to you right now. So one more thing that I would like to add on this book, Steppenwolf, is that this book talks about suicide. It's a story of Harry Heller, a failed writer, a failed journalist, a failed academician, a failed philosopher, who wants to commit suicide on his 50th birthday, but somehow he is postponing it. Somehow he is postponing it every day, till he met two younger individuals in some kind of magical Faust-like theater, where he discovered the meaning of laughter, and that is how he proceeds from being suicidal to more sane or holistic individuality. So more often than, as is misunderstood, this book is not about suicide. This book is about healing. This book is about overcoming your darker self. This book is all about embracing life as it comes. Okay. It also talks about timelessness, or the existence of a world beyond time, where the concept of eternity and timelessness is discussed, where in one passage Goethe talks about, the name Goethe is mentioned, who is one of the favorite artists of Harry Heller, the chief protagonist of this book. So Goethe speaks to Harry Heller in certain context, that you should not take old people who are already dead seriously. It does them injustice. We mortals do not like things to be taken seriously. We like joking. Seriousness, you see, young man, is an accident of time. It consists in putting too high a value on time. I too once put too high a value on time. For that reason, I wish to be 100 years old. Eternity, my young friend, however, doesn't consist of any time. In eternity, there is no time. Eternity, you see, is a sheer moment, just long enough for a joke. So eternity consists of placing too high, accident consists of placing too high a value on time. Now again, Herman Hesse says that most men will not swim before they're able to. Of course, and I'm going to put all these quotes in the description section for your reference, so that you can enjoy it beforehand. Most men will not swim before they're able to. Is that not witty? Naturally, they won't swim. They are born for the solid earth, not for the water. And naturally, they won't think either. They are made for life, not for thought. Yes, and he who thinks, what is more, he who makes thought his business, he may go far in it. But he has battered the solid earth, he has bartered the solid earth for water all the same. And one day he will be drowned. Which means that the true journey is to find your own vocation, is to find your own individuality. And no doubt, Herman Hesse talks about achieving the individuality as a writer. So kindly read this book. I hope you will enjoy it. And if you like the video, please share, like, and subscribe. Okay, thank you so much.